This afternoon, we will be discussing dry friction. So, let's start with the definition of dry friction. First, yung friction class, it is a force that resists the movement of two contacting surface that slides relative to each other or to one another. So, there is only friction kapag mayroon tayong contacting surfaces. Kapag wala tayong contacting surfaces, then therefore there is no friction. Then there are different types of friction class ha. One of which is this dry friction. Meron pa tong fluid friction, another type of friction. Now, this force always acts tangent to the surface at the points of contact and is directed so as to oppose the possible or existing motion between two surfaces. For example, meron tayong surface and meron tayong box dito, class. Okay? And then, ang box na to, yung motion niya or that is moving in this direction. So, kapag ganyan, meron tayong contact surface in here. So, yung frictional force would be opposing that motion or direction of motion. So, meron tayong frictional force there. Okay? Denoted as F sub F. Now, dry friction, sometimes called as the Coulomb friction, since its characteristics were studied extensively by the French physicist Charles Augustin de Coulomb in 1781. Dry friction occurs between two contacting surfaces of bodies when there is no lubricating fluid. Kapag, kaya sinasabi siyang dry friction. Kapag may lubrication na in between the interface or in between the contact surface, then that's different type of friction. Okay, may fluid friction na yan involved. Now, similar to this one, ito yung basically representation lang, no? Uh, in reality, yung makikita natin is a box only and a surface or plane. Kumbaga, ito lang yung makikita natin in reality, no? And then, of course, meron tayong weight ng box, then meron tayong force na in-apply, that is force P. Pero, kung titingnan natin yan in microscopic level and in mechanics na sense, etong surface na to dito, contact surface, meron tayong tinatawag na uh, etong change of force sub n. So yung change of force sub n, that is basically yung frictional force natin. That is a function of your normal force here. So, 'di ba, pag meron tayong weight and meron tayong contact surface, so meron tayong tinatawag na normal force that is opposing the uh, force of the weight, no? So, itong frictional force is actually a expression or a function of your normal force. Such that, kung kukunin natin yung etong F of sub, delta F of sub n, that is per change of normal force na, for example, meron tayong length dito. So, pale, meron tayong distributed load of the normal force because we have a weight here, no? So, meron na tayong distributed load for the frictional force. Kung kukunin natin yung summation ng lahat ng yan, basically, meron tayong tinatawag dito na F. And then, we have this normal force. Okay? And yung normal force, nag-a-act yan from the centroid of our object, x direction, or x value, or measured from the centroid ng ating object. Okay? Anyway, this is just basically the representation ng, no? But the same concept applies, no? Yung friction is always opposing the motion of an object. Now, we have here the dry friction still. The theory of dry friction can be explained by considering the effects caused by pulling horizontally on a block of uniform weight W which is resting on a rough horizontal surface that is non-rigid or deformable. So, meron tayong tinatawag dito na impending motion, no? Then, meron tayong weight, meron tayong normal force in here, and then, ito yung frictional force natin. Okay? So, meron actually itong different cases. Meron tayong impending motion. Pag sinasabi natin impending motion, yung object natin is still on the verge of movement. Hindi pa siya nag-move, pero na siya sa kanyang maximum limit. Now, any increase in the force na in-apply natin on that specific object, that will cause the object to move. Kaya tinatawag siyang impending motion. So, meron din tayong motion Okay, mean to say, nag-move na yung ating object. And meron tayong motion, impending motion, and completely static siya. So, itong impending motion and completely static, basically, part pa rin ito, the same region lang to class, the same region. Later, pakita ko sa inyo yung friction times motion diagram niya. So, in impending motion, in cases where the surface of contact are rather slippery, the frictional force F may not be great enough to balance P, and consequently, the block will tend to slip. In other words, as P is slowly increased, kung i-increase natin yung force na in-apply natin, F correspondingly increases until it attains a certain maximum value of Fs, called the limiting static frictional force. Kapag yung Fs natin is nag-go beyond na siya sa maximum value niya ng f of x, f of s pala, or when sinasabi natin yung limiting static frictional force, then that is the time that yung object natin is mag-move na. So, here are the typical values of mu sub s. Sinasabi natong mu sub s, that is basically the friction coefficient or static friction coefficient. Okay? Yung mu sub s kasi, that is static friction coefficient. Okay? Mu sub s. Meron din tayong mu sub k, that is kinetic friction coefficient. Na ito yung mga common or typical values of the static friction coefficient. For example, meron tayong metal that is on ice. Nasa ice siya. Okay? So, yung static coefficient of static friction is usually 0.03 to 0.05. Wood on wood. Okay, pag meron tayong contacting surfaces, tas parehas lang wood material, then yung static coefficient of friction nila is nasa range ng 0.3 to 0.7, and so on and so forth. Okay, ito lang yung mga typical values. Anyway, sa problem, bibigay naman din yan, no? Then, meron tayong motion. If the magnitude of P acting on the block is increased so that it becomes slightly greater than F of S, kapag yung P natin is na go beyond na dun sa limiting, maximum limiting static frictional force, then that's the time that the frictional force at the contacting surface will not be able to resist the P. And therefore, yung contacting surface will drop to a smaller value Fk, called the kinetic frictional force. So, yung kinetic frictional force denoted as F sub k is equivalent siya sa kinetic coefficient of friction times the normal force. Okay? So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, yung parang force, ito yung frictional force, at ito yung P. Now, kung i-relate natin yung force times P, yung force pala class, that is the friction, or yung F pala, that is the friction. Okay? And P natin, ito yung applied force natin. Okay. So, paano ba to i-interpret, no? Kapag yung, okay, kapag nandito tayo sa, di ba, kung meron tayong straight line na nito class, di ba, pag mag-straight line tayo, so what we can expect is that we have a linear equation wherein yung y natin is directly equivalent siya sa x, no? Or a function of x siya. Okay? So, most likely yan. So, meron tayong slope dito na 1. So, kung slope 1, of course, yung angle niya directly is 45 degree. Kasi yung tangent of 45 degrees, equivalent yan sa 1. Yung tangent of that degree is equal to the slope. Tama ba? Ganyan man, di ba? So, kapag yung P natin is their equivalent, exactly equivalent sa force or frictional force, then we can expect no motion at all. Wala yang motion, no? Wala siyang motion. Okay? So, at this region, wala siyang motion. Or, it could be yung force P natin is lesser than F. Pwede din natin sabihin. So, walang motion dyan. Now, kapag yung P natin is nag-go beyond dito sa limiting static friction, then guess what? What will happen? Mag-move na yung object natin. So, ito na yung magiging graph niya. So, nandyan na siya dun sa motion region. Okay? Now, ito yung mga category, kumbaga. So, if F is a static frictional force, F is a static frictional force if equilibrium is maintained. Yung F nito is what we call static frictional force kapag yung equilibrium daw is na-maintain. Mean to say, no motion at all yung object natin. Yung F naman is a limiting static frictional force when it reaches the maximum value needed to maintain equilibrium. Yung friction F natin na nakuha is called the limiting static friction or F sub S kapag daw it reaches the maximum value which is F of sub X, no? Now, F is kinetic frictional force or tinatawag natin yung F sub K if when sliding occurs at the contact surface kapag nag-move na yung object natin. So, depende lang yan sa case na to ha. Tatlong cases to class. Again, yung F natin is tinatawag nating static frictional force kapag ang equilibrium is na-maintain. F is called the limiting static friction if yung F of S is na-reach or na-obtain. Kapag yung F, okay, is will cause the sliding, meron tayong sliding occurrence sa ating object, yung F na frictional force na nakuha natin is what we call the kinetic frictional force. Okay? So, characteristics ng dry friction class, the frictional force acts tangent, yun sinabi ko kanina. And the maximum static frictional force or kinatawag nating limiting static frictional force that can be developed is independent of the area of contact. So, regardless of the area, no? Regardless of the area siya, provided that the normal pressure is not very low nor great enough to severely deform or crush the contacting surfaces of the bodies. The maximum static frictional force is generally greater than the kinetic. So, yan yun ha. Yung F sub S natin is greater. Generally. Greater always with Fk. So, F of S is greater than F of K. Okay? Yung force na i-require natin, no? Or yung force na kailangan natin ma-reach so that yung object is mag-move. That is your F of sub S. That is the frictional force. That is always greater to the force na kailangan natin ma-reach while the object is moving already. Okay, yan yung ibig sabihin dito. Meaning to say, for example, ito yun, no? Yung ibig sabihin niya, no? Say for example, meron tayong object na to. Okay, hold on. Meron tayong object. We have a parang wheel. Then, initially at rest siya, di ba? So, mean to say, ang force, ang frictional force na present sa kanya is yung F limiting or F of sub S or simply F lang. Hindi yung Fk. Okay, force frictional force or static frictional force lang kasi it remains at rest. So, kung mag-move ka nito or mag-apply ka ng force diyan, no, sa itong wheel na to so that it will move, you need to go beyond the frictional force static para ma-move yung object. Meaning to say, you need to exert more effort than F of S, no? Para mag-move yan. Now, consider it with an object already moving. Nag-move na siya. So, para ma-sustain mo yung movement ng object na yan, so you would still apply force. And ano yung application mo ng force or how much magnitude you need to exert on this wheel to sustain the movement? Basically, that is your F of K. Kailangan mas mataas sa F of K. Kasi nag-move siya, so less na yung value ng friction niya. Okay, so that's the basically the fundamental representation kung paano to i-describe itong bullet number 3. Now, however, if one of the bodies is moving with a very low velocity over the surface of another, F of K becomes approximately equal to F of S. So, meron din cases na yung static coefficient is equivalent to sa kinetic coefficient kapag we are in the domain na very low yung velocity. Okay? And then when the slipping at the surface of contact is about to occur, the maximum static frictional force is proportional to the normal force. Meaning to say, your F sub S will be equivalent sa static coefficient friction times the normal force. Okay? So on so on so forth. So try tayo mag-solve ng mga problems, no? Kasi mahirap ito kapag hindi natin in-apply sa mga problems. Okay? So, any questions so far, class? May tanong ba? Hello? Still there? May tanong, class?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
May tanong? Wala.
Wala, sir.
Okay, sige.
Wala, sir.
No,
Example
sir.
problem 1 tayo. Sabi dito, the uniform crate shown has a mass of 20 kilograms. If a force P is applied to the crate, determine if it remains in equilibrium. Sabihin natin, no, na we need to determine if it remains static or no motion at all, no. The coefficient of static friction is 0.3. Okay? So, unang gagawin natin is gawa tayo ng free body diagram kumbaga. Meron tayong mass ng block. So, of course, we can expect a weight. Meron tayong weight na to. So, pagpalagay natin yung weight nito, galing dito. Papunta dito. Okay? Masyadong malaki, no? So, ito yung weight niya. Okay? 20 kilograms times 9.81. Yan yung weight niya. And then, of course, meron tayong tinatawag na frictional force, normal force. Yung normal force dito yan, no? So, that is x distance from the centroid. Ito yung magiging centroid natin. Normal force. Okay? And then, of course, pag may normal force tayo, we can expect a frictional force. Nandito yan. Frictional force. Okay? Sabihin na natin F. Okay, lakihan na natin konti, class. Okay, meron tayong frictional force. Dito yan, interface. Sa interface ng mismong object at saka yung surface natin. Now, meron tayong in-apply na 80 Newton na force. That is, nakita nyo, that is inclined, no? 30 degrees from the horizontal. And that is 0.2 from the surface. Okay? So, basically, this is your H. So, i-determine natin if kapag yung F natin, okay, F natin is equivalent sa P. So, mean to say, it remains equilibrium. Okay, so, ang gagawin natin, we will be applying the equations of equilibrium. Yung summation of forces along X, summation of forces along Y, and summation of the moment at a specific point equate to 0. So, as you can see in the figure, the resultant normal force must act at a distance of x, no, from the crate center line in order to counteract the tipping effect caused by your application ng force P. And there are three possible unknowns, the x value, the n, and of course your f. Ito yung mga possible unknowns. So, we will be needing to solve yung mga, we'll be using the normal force, yung mga tinatawag nating equilibrium equations. So, balik lang tayo saglit konti. So, pakita ko lang ulit yung diagram nun nung ating, ito yun, di ba? Yung normal force natin is naka-locate yan x distance from the center of your object or box. So, meron din tayong application ng P, which is h distance from the contact surface. Okay, yan yun na. So, just to have a tawag nito, background. So, ito, that is basically your H. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin ngayon is to use na yung mga equilibrium equations. So, we can start with the summation of forces along X. Equate that to 0. So, anong mga forces involved here? We have here 80. Then, that is cosine of 30. And, of course, yung F natin. Equate that to 0. Tama ba? Then, another one is yung summation of forces along Y. Equate that to 0. So, this is basically our equation number 1. Okay, for summation of forces along Y, so we have here, okay, yung 80 natin, yung 80 kilonewton, since yung arrow niyan is pababa, so meaning to say, yung vertical component niya is negative. Negative 80 sine of 30. And aside from that, we have N, no? Yung normal force, at saka yung weight natin, which is 20 tapos 9.81. That is negative also. Equate that to 0. So, simplify natin to further, class. We have here 80 sine 30. Anong value nitong 80 sine 30? Kunin na natin yung calculator natin. 80 sine 30. Then, i-add natin tong 20. Kasi since they have the same lang man din negative, so add na lang natin yan. 9.81. So, makukuha natin yung value ng n, which is equivalent sa, yung n natin, equivalent yan sa 236.2. So, dito pala, makukuha pala natin yung value ng F. Okay, summation of forces along Y equated to 0. So, ito yung value ng N natin, no? Yung value ng ating F would be equivalent sa, yung value ng F dito. Transpose natin sa kabila yung F, magiging positive, 80 cosine of 30. Yung F natin dito would be equivalent sa 69 point what? 28. Okay, sabihin natin 28 newtons. So, yan yung F natin na value. Tama ba? And yung normal force natin is 236.2 newtons. Tama? Hindi, class. Now, gawin natin is to solve for the value of x. What we can do, sabihin natin ito yung point O, no? Point O yan. Itong point na to, yung centroid. We can sum up the moment at point O and then equate that to 0. Okay? And then we can say positive yung magiging clockwise direction. Okay, so kukunin natin yung value ng x kumbaga. So, since itong 20 Newton, 20 times 9.81 is directly nandito yan sa point O. Therefore, wala yang siyang moment. Ano lang may moment? Etong n, which is obviously counterclockwise yan. No? So, that is negative n. Tapos, x. Wherein yung n natin, nakuha na natin already, that is 236.2. Okay, times x. Aside from that, meron tayong friction. Ito yung F, no? So, obviously, pa-clockwise yan, no? Plus F, yung F natin is 69.28. And that is, yung distance niya from point O is 0.2. Okay, 0.2. Considering yung application ng force natin is nasa centroid. So, 0.2 yan. And then, of course, yung horizontal component ng force P, ma-intersect niya yung, or if we project that, it will intersect the point O. Okay, so mean to say, yung vertical component lang niya ang may moment. So that will somehow induce a counterclockwise direction. Kaya negative. Negative 80, and that is sine 30. O, tapos multiply natin ng half of 0.8, which is 0.4. Okay? So I think wala naman, no? Wala nang other forces. Equate that to 0. Anong makukuha nating value ng x class?
Negative 9.08 times 10 to the power of negative.
Okay, negative 9.08 times 10, negative 3. Tama ba?
Yes, sir.
So this is
Yes, sir.
meter. So in other words, x is equivalent sa negative 9.08, and that is mm. Ang negative, ibig sabihin, kabaliktaran lang, or meaning to say, yung correct niya na placement should be like this one. Okay, nakuha nyo? Yan yung magiging correct na assumption dapat. So anyway, alam naman natin, so yung numerical value lang would be 9.08 mm from what? From the center. From the center. Okay. So, ano bang relevant nito, class? Anong relevant ng x? Since x is negative, it indicates that the resultant normal force acts slightly to the left of the crate center. So, yung naging assumption natin, nandito yan siya, is actually wrong. So, slightly left from the center. Now, tipping will occur since yung x natin is tawag nito. Hold on. Okay. So, i-test natin ano ba yung maximum. Okay, ano ba yung maximum na F value na makukuha natin considering meron tayong coefficient of static friction tapos nakuha na natin yung value ng n. So, that is basically 0.3 tapos ma-multiply natin yan by n. Ano yung nakuha natin na n? 236.2. Anong value to, class? Makukuha natin. Anong value makukuha natin dito, class?
70.86, sir.
Okay, 70.86
6.
or sabihin natin 9. Okay, or 86 na lang Newton. So nakuha natin yung maximum friction or kinatawag natin na maximum limiting. Okay, maximum limiting frictional force is equivalent sa 7.86. Now, kung atin yang i-compare dito sa nakuha nating F value, okay, upon summing the forces along X, basically, by the way, class, meron pa tong tanong, determine also the value of X pala, or the normal force, or the distance from the normal force. Kaya kinuha natin tong X. Hindi ko lang nasulat, class, ha. Meron yung tanong dito. So, eto basically, yan, kasali yan sa tanong. Okay, so part yan sa tanong. And yung isang tanong, determine if it remains in equilibrium. Since yung F natin na na-solve, which is equivalent sa 69.3 Newton, is lesser than the maximum limiting static friction, or say 69.3 is lesser than 70.86 Newton, therefore, what happens is that yung object natin will what? Will remain or not remain equilibrium? Ano sa tingin nyo, class?
Not, sir.
Not? Diba kung i-draw natin yung F tapos P, parang kumbaga ganyan. Okay, sabihin natin ito yung maximum natin, maximum F. Then nakuha nating F nandito lang. So, kumbaga gagawa tayo ng parang projected line F. So, ito yung value ng P kung saan no motion at all, no? No motion. So, yung F na nakuha natin, 69.3. So, nandito lang yan, no? Ito yung 70.86. Ito yung 69.3. So, anong mangyayari sa object natin? It will remain what? Equilibrium. So, wala tayong tinatawag na motion. So, object will remain equilibrium. So, yan yung sagot dyan. Kapag yung F na nakuha natin is lesser than the maximum F, so therefore, mako-consider natin that your object will remain static or equilibrium. Okay? So basically, madali lang yan, class. So prove lang natin whether if the object will remain equilibrium or not. So, additional problem tayo. Problem number 2. So, ang tamang sagot nyan ha, object will remain equilibrium. Equilibrium. Okay, yan. Okay, I hope na yun, no, na you're still able to follow. Okay, example problem 2 tayo, class. It is observed that when the bed of dump truck, parang meron tayong dump truck, no, is raised to an angle. Ito yung parang dump truck, bed of the dump truck. So, parang ganito ba? Meron tayong dump truck. Yan, meron di ba itong hydraulic, parang kumbaga ganyan. Then, meron tayo dito yung tawag nito, yung wheels ng dump truck, ganyan. Then, meron tayong ganito niya. So, kung saan yung driver is, driver compartment. Yan, no. Parang ganyan ba? So, meron tayong ganito pa dito. Okay. Ganyan. No? So, ganyan yan. The bed of dump truck, okay, is raised to an angle of 25. So, na-raise yan to angle para mahulog to, kumbaga, no? So, meron tayong vending machine. Ito yon, will begin to slide off the bed. So, mag-slide off yan, papunta yan dito. Now, determine the static coefficient of friction. So, ano yung value ng MS, static coefficient of friction, between the vending machine and the surface of the truck bed. Ito yung dito. Okay? Considering meron tayong 25 degrees. So, paano natin kukunin yan, class? Okay? So, gawa tayo ng free body diagram for that one, no? So, gawa tayo ng ating itong surface na to. Then, say for example, yung vending machine, sabihin na lang natin ganito, object. Parang box lang. Para madali. So, meron tayong weight ng vending object or yung vending machine natin, of course. Ano yung weight natin dyan? Binigay ba? Hindi binigay yung weight, no? So, pagpalagay natin, that is W na lang. Pero may weight yan, ha? And then, eto, 25 degrees to, di ba? 25 degrees. Okay. Hold on. Alitan na natin konti. So, this one is 25 degrees. Okay? Meron tayong weight dito. And then, aside from that, since yung object natin nag-move dito, yun yung motion. So, of course, you will be expecting a frictional force in this direction. Meron tayong frictional force in this direction. So, sabihin natin F yan. Ay, sorry, nawala. Okay. Sabihin natin, meron tayong frictional force in this direction. Yan. Okay? And then, aside from that, meron pa ba tayong nakalimutan? Of course, yung normal force natin. Okay, normal force natin. Normal force, then from the center, meron tayong X dyan. Now, ang gagawin natin, class, para mas madali, is gagawa tayo ng arbitrary x prime or x and y axis. So gagawa tayo ng arbitrary x and y axis. So gawin natin x prime and y prime. Such that if i-rotate natin to, okay, i-rotate natin yan. So ang mangyari niyan, ganito. Okay? We have here the y prime, yung arbitrary y prime arbitrary y axis natin. Okay? And then we have here the arbitrary x axis naman natin. Yan. So, ilagay natin yung mga forces no involved. So, gawin natin parang nagawa tayo dito ng dito. So, etong F natin, ilagay na natin dito, yung frictional force. No? Although, alam naman natin na that is in between the contact surface. So, gawin natin dito, F na yan. And then, yung normal force, sabihin natin, ilagay na natin dito. So, although we know that is X value from the center. So, para mas madali, no? So, we have here the N, normal force, the weight, and the friction. Ito yun dito. Friction, normal, and the weight. Ang weight pala is, okay, from the, tawag nito, from the vertical component. Diba, whatever angle we have here, that's the same angle here. So, yung weight natin is, pag ganito yan, class, Okay. So, we have here the y prime, then that is 25 degrees from y prime. So, that is your weight. Okay. So, kukunin nating value is yung value ng ating coefficient of static friction or m sub. 'Di ba yung f natin dito is mu sub s tapos n. Okay. So, basically, we just need to solve for the value of x. Summation of forces along x equate that to 0 para makuha natin yung una pala yung y pala. Kukunin natin yung summation of forces along y para makuha natin yung n, and then gagamitin natin yung n para to solve for the value of kinetic friction. Static of kinetic friction. So una, summation of forces along y, we have here n, okay, minus w, and that is cosine of 25 degree. Equate that to 0. Therefore, yung n pala natin is w cosine of 25 degrees. So, yan yung w natin. That is our first equation. Now, for the second equation, summation of forces along x, equate that to 0. So, ano naman along x? So, we have here the the horizontal component of w. We have w sine, no? Sine of 25 degrees. Ito yun, class, Sine yan kasi opposite yan sa 25 degrees. And then minus yung f natin, hinahanap, equate that to 0. Okay? So, di ba yung f natin is equivalent yan sa ms tapos yung n, no? ms tapos yung n. And then we have here w sine 25. Okay? So, equate that to 0. Since yung n natin is may value na yan, so etong ms, mu s tapos times n, i-transpose natin sa kabila, magiging w sine 25, equate that to ms, at yung s natin or mu s pala, yung n natin is w cosine 25. Okay, so itong w makakancel lang yan, no? Kaya even though wala siya binigay na w, still makukuha pa rin natin yung w. Okay? So basically yung coefficient of static friction natin is basically equal lang sa class? So that is sine of 25 over cosine of 25. Or in other words, that is just tangent of the angle na incline. So, ito yung part na to. Okay? So, basically, anong sagot nito, class?
0.47, sir.
0.47.
466.
466 or 466 na lang, no? Yan yung value natin ng static of coefficient of friction. Now, the angle, yung 25 degree dito is referred to the angle of repose. So, yung angle na 25 dito, aside from that is the angle of inclination, tinatawag din siyang angle of repose. And by comparison, it is equal to the angle of static friction. So, dito na-prove natin na yung angle of repose, or yung other than angle theta, sinasabi din natin yung phi, okay? Or sabihin na natin angle theta. And then yung mu s, sabihin natin that is angle ng static friction or phi of the static friction. So, yung angle of repose is equivalent lang pala sa angle of yung static friction. Kasi yung angle ng static friction, if kukunin natin yung arctan of this one, so makukuha natin yung angle of static friction. Okay, yan man yun. Definition niya. Okay? So, equal lang yan sila ha. So, notice that the calculation that theta is independent of the weight of the bending machine. So, the theta also, yung angle of repose natin, provides a convenient method for determining the coefficient of friction. Okay, so pinakamadali na pagkuha ng static coefficient of static friction is basically you just need to get the tangent of this angle of repose. Okay? So yan lang yun ha. Basically this problem is just a tawag nito, proving lang kumbaga that whatever angle of repose you have here, kukunin mo yung static of friction considering the same case ng ganito. So that is equivalent lang sa tangent of your angle of repose. Yan yung static coefficient of friction. Okay? Continue tayo class. Example 3 tayo ngayon. Okay, let me read the problem again. Beam AB is subjected to a uniform load of 200 Newton meter. By the way, can you hear my voice clearly, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. And it is supported at B by post BC. If the coefficient of static friction at B and C are 0.2 and 0.5 respectively, determine the force P needed to pull the post out from under the beam. Okay? Neglect the weight of the members and the thickness of the beam. So as you can see, meron tayong poste dito, BC, and then it is supporting the beam AB, no? So ang tanong dito is, ano daw yung magnitude of force P na needed natin to pull the poste BC. Okay? So, actually, mag-create tayo ng free body diagram dito. So, let me just create a free body diagram. Okay, una itong poste na AB. Okay, sorry. Yung beam AB pala. So, gawa tayo ng arrow dito. Meron tayong AX, no? And then also meron din tayong AY. Okay? Kasi nakapin yan dito. Okay, ganyan. And then nakuha na natin kahapon to, no? Bale, to get the resultant nito, that is 200 times 4. And that is located in the center of this beam, which is equivalent sa 2 meters from A or from B. Okay? So, this is 800 newtons. Ito naman yung AX natin. Ito yung AX. Sorry. Ito yung AX natin. AX. Ito naman. Ito yung AY. And then, the same time, meron din tayong tinatawag nating normal force at B. Okay, sabihin natin yun, hanggang dito yon. Okay? And then, of course, meron tayong frictional force dito. Okay? Frictional force dito. Okay. Bakit di naman, no? Ay, ganyan. So, tawagin natin tong NB. Ito naman yung FB. Okay, di ba? So, meron tayong coefficient of friction dito. Okay, binigay yung static coefficient friction of 0.2 here, and dito naman is dito sa ground, okay, contact surface ng ground at saka ng poste, static coefficient of friction is equivalent sa 0.5. So yan yung mga static of coefficient of friction natin. Ito yung free body diagram natin for beam AB, no? Then, for beam AC, poste na BC. Okay, gawa tayo dito ng poste. So, meron tayong NB. So, since internal reaction yan, so, magkakaroon tayo dito ng opposite ng direction niya. Okay, so this is our NB. And then, yung FB, parehas pa rin yung direction niya. Okay. Kasi dapat natin yan ma-overcome para ma-pull natin yung poste. So, ito, FB pa rin to. Then, meron tayong FC dito. Okay, klaruhin ko lang ha, NB. And then lastly, meron tayo ditong normal force naman sa C. Okay, sabihin natin ganito. NC. Okay? And of course, huwag natin kalimutan yung force natin na P. Okay. Sorry. Force P natin, of course. Yan yung pinapahanap dito, no? Okay. Force P. Ano to? Okay, ganyan. So, there are two possible scenario here, class. Okay. Una, okay, there are two possible assumption na gagawin natin. Okay, una, draw tayo ulit ng beam natin, AB. Okay. At saka, i-draw natin ulit yung poste natin na BC. Okay. There are two possible scenarios for this one. Kung magpupull tayo ng force dito, okay, or mag-exert tayo ng force P, no? Ang tendency niyan, unang tendency is mag-slip yung dito sa contact surface. Una, okay, sa B. So, mangyari niyan, pwedeng ganito yan, no? So, una itong magsa-slide. Kumbaga, ganyan, no? Una yung magsa-slide. Okay. So, for our first assumption, okay, yung first assumption natin is that, okay, assumption 1 is that yung B magsa-slides off. Okay, B slides off around C. Meaning to say, magro-rotate yung ating beam or yung poste pala. Okay, magro-rotate yun at mag-fix pa rin yung C natin. Ang magsa-slide off lang is B. In that way, mahihila pa rin natin yung poste. Tama ba? Tama ba, class? Okay. And the other scenario is this. So, draw lang tayo ulit nitong ating beam at saka itong ating poste. And another scenario is this. Okay, meron tayong force P pa rin. Okay? So, ang mangyari naman, okay, yung isang scenario is that yung C ang magsa-slide off. Okay, ganito yon. Magsa-slide off yung C. So, basically, parang yung B natin is mag-fix lang dyan, no? Parang, mauuna muna mag-slide off yung C, yung point dito, okay, bago itong B. Okay, so this is our assumption 2. Now, importante yung mag-assume tayo ng scenario kasi yung makukuha nating value ng P, dalawa din yan, no? So, alin dun ang tamang sagot? Okay, so meaning to say, yung C slides off around B. Okay, yan yung dalawang possible scenario. Okay. Now, unahin natin yung assumption 1. Then, iti-test natin kung tama ba yung magiging assumption natin, no? So, to validate tong assumption 1, ang gagawin natin, okay, sabihin natin this is our free body diagram number 1. Ito naman yung free body diagram number 2 for pos BC. Okay. Sabihin natin that is our free body diagram 2. Okay. Ang gagawin natin, gamitin natin yung free body diagram at FBD1. Okay, ang gagawin natin, magmo-moment tayo dito sa A. Okay, equating that to 0. So, magmo-moment tayo dito sa A. Yung my moment lang is itong 800, no? Itong 800, which is 2 meters from A. And, of course, itong NB. Magmo-moment yan dito sa A, meron niyang 4 meters away from A. Okay? So, gagawin natin, yan. Ito pala, class, meron itong 0.75 dito. Okay? 0.75, although hindi accurate yung magiging diagram. Anyway, basta, ganyan yan. So, basically, we have here, sabihin na lang natin, clockwise yung positive. So, therefore, we have 800 times 2 minus NB times 4. Equate that to 0. Wala nang other magmo-moment dyan sa point A. Kasi 800 lang at saka yung NB. Check ko lang, class, kung okay pa rin ba yung microphone ko. Kasi nag-auto siya. Nag-auto volume down. Okay, therefore, makukuha natin yung NB natin, which is equivalent. Pakicalculate doon ng NB natin, class.
1.6, sir.
1.6? Hindi yan, 1.6 ha.
400 po.
400 po to. Okay, 1 half lang yan, okay. This is 400. Okay, ito 1.6 divide 4, 400, tama. Okay, NB, that is the value of NB. Now, kung i-assume natin, okay, i-assume natin na itong assumption 1, ang mangyari niyan, no? Magmo-moment tayo dito sa point C. Okay, ito yung C, di ba? Bakit tayo magmo-moment dito sa point C? Kasi sinabi natin na ang unang mag-slides is itong sa B natin, contact surface natin sa B, and then it will slides off around C. Kumbaga, parang magmo-moment siya sa point C or magro-rotate siya around C. So, gagamitin naman natin yung free body diagram dito sa 2. Okay? By the way, class, if NB is equivalent sa 400, then therefore, using yung FB max pala natin, okay, yung maximum limiting frictional force natin for at contact surface B is equivalent sa static coefficient nitong sa B times yung NB, which is equivalent sa 0.2 times 400. Tama ba? Okay, ang sagot dito, that is 80 newtons. Tama? Yan yung FB max natin. Yan yung gagamitin natin, no, na FB dito. Okay, sa poste na to. Okay, meaning to say, yung FB natin, in-assume natin that is equivalent sa FB max natin. So, nandito tayo sa tinatawag nating impending motion. 'Di ba? Pag yung FB natin na nakuha is equivalent sa FB max or lesser than, equivalent or lesser than FB max, then nandun tayo sa no motion or impending motion. Okay? So, gagamitin natin tong value na to, okay? If gagamitin natin yung assumption 1. So, assumption 1, balik tayo dun sa free body diagram number 2. Medyo mahirap ito intindihin, class, no? Pero you will understand later why. Ito. So, gagamitin natin tong free body diagram na to solve for the value of P. Okay? So, summation of forces along X, no? Summation of forces along X, makukuha natin that P, itong P natin is equivalent lang pala sa, okay, P minus FB minus FC. Kasi yung FB natin at saka FC is pareha sila papuntang kaliwa. Okay, P minus FC minus FB equivalent to 0. So this is our first equation. Now, if we also sum up the forces along Y, equate that to 0, same pa rin if FBD number 2. Yung forces along Y lang is dalawa lang, NC at saka NB. So therefore pala yung NC minus NB, or in other words, yung NC pala is equivalent sa NB. Yung NB nakuha natin kanina is 400 newtons. So yan yung gagamitin natin na value. Okay? So, okay, at the same time, kung gagamitin natin yung assumption number 1, if we take the moment dito sa point C, okay, if we take the moment at point C, same pa rin, free body diagram number 2, if we take the moment at point C, equate that to 0, ano lang yung may moment dito, class. Okay, dito tayo magmo-moment sa point C. So, etong NB, wala na yung moment, no? Kasi it will project o papunta dito, ma-intersect yan niya. Okay, NC at saka FC, wala din yan. So, ano lang yung may moment? P at saka FB. Ang P is 0.25 from C. Ang FB is 0.25 plus 0.75, which is 1 from C. Okay? So, ito yung gagamitin natin, ha. Sige, sulat ko na lang dun. Ay, ilagay ko na lang dun para meron tayong reference. Okay? So, ito, lagay ko lang dito. So, therefore, meron tayong, okay, magmo-moment tayo sa point C. Ito yung point B. Ito yung point C. Moment tayo sa point C, we have there, sabihin natin clockwise positive, P, tapos 0.25, okay, minus FB times, 1, equivalent to 0. Since nakuha na natin yung FB kanina, which is equivalent sa 80, so therefore we get here 80 times 1, okay, transpose natin, over 0.25. Ang value nito, pakikuha, class,
320, sir.
320 newtons. So, yan yung value ng P natin. Pero hindi pa yan, hindi pa natin masasabi that is the exact value of P natin kasi itetest pa natin yan. Now, using equation number 1, kung sinabi nating P is equivalent sa 320, Okay, test natin to, ang value ng Fs natin. FC na pala, FC. So, 320 to minus FC. Then, yung FB na kuha natin is, ano yun, class? 80, di ba? Equivalent to 0. So, yan yung value ng FB natin. Anong makukuha natin for FC here? Without, transpose natin to. FC,
240, sir.
240. Okay, 240 newtons. Tama ba? Okay. Itong value ng FC, ang magdedetermine kung tama ba yung assumption 1 natin or mali. Okay, 'di ba sinabi natin sa assumption 1, ang yung B lang yung or yung contact surface dito sa B lang yung nag-slide off. Meaning to say, yung C is nag-remain lang at rest at its position, okay? Pero makukuha pa rin natin yung poste, 'di ba? Kasi anong nangyari dito, hindi naman yan mapupull pa rin yung P niya. Okay, mapupull pa rin yung poste, no? So, it will just yung B lang magsa-slide off and around point C, no? So, kanina nakuha natin na NC is equivalent sa 400. Ano pala yung value ng FC max? Okay, 'di ba? That is static friction sa C tapos NC, and that is equivalent sa 0.5, no? Times 400. Okay, anong value makukuha natin dito, class? 'Di ba that is equivalent sa 200, no? Half of 400, 200 newton. Now, nangyari dito, yung FC natin pala is greater than F max. Okay? 'Di ba yung F max is the limiting static friction, that is the maximum value of friction, okay? Of friction force or frictional force na hindi pa ma-move yung ating object. Pero sa nakuha nating FC dito sa assumption 1, nag-exceed na siya sa F max. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Meaning to say, yung C pala ay nag-slide off na, hindi pa nag-slide off si B. Okay? Yung C is nag-slide off na, hindi pa nag-slide off si B. So, mali itong assumption natin na nag-slide off na si B, no? Around C. So, itatry naman natin itong assumption 2 natin, which is yung C nag-slide off around B. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin dito, okay, meron naman tayong values ng NB at saka N. Meron tanong? Okay. Wala naman siguro, no? Okay. So, gagawin natin, copy ko lang to, i-move ko lang saglit. Ayan. So, di ba, FC is F max. So, nakuha na natin yung, na-prove natin or na-validate natin na mali yung assumption 1 natin. So, proceed tayo dito sa assumption 2. Dito sa assumption 2, gagamitin pa rin natin yung free body diagram sa number 2. Okay, free body diagram sa number 2. Wherein, dito naman tayo mag-moment sa point B. If mag-moment tayo sa point B, okay, summation of moment at point B equate to 0. Okay, sorry. Okay, clockwise positive. So, that would give us, okay, ito, clockwise positive. We have, so, itong FB, NB, at saka NC, mag-0 na yan. So, meron lang tayong FC, negative yan. FC, negative, times 1. Okay, 1 yan, galing sa B. Plus, yung P natin, okay, times 0.75. Okay, equate that to 0. So, sa FC natin, since impending tayo, so, sinabi natin na yung FC yung mag-slide off, no? Or mean to say, ang gagamitin nating value ng FC dito is yung FC max. FC max, which is equivalent yan sa 0.5 times 400, which is, again, 200. Now, ito yung itry natin. So, if FC is 200, multiplied by 1, negative yan ha, plus P times 0.75. Anong value makukuha natin sa P dito, class?
266.67.
266.67. Or sabihin na natin 267. Tama ba? Newtons. Ito-test naman natin itong value nito. Okay. Now, kung P is 267, gagamitin pa rin natin yung equation number 1. Hindi naman na-change yan, no? Summation of forces along X. If P is 267, okay, sorry, saan na yun? If P is 267, so galing sa equation number 1, Okay, P minus FC minus FB, equate that to 0. If P is 267 and FC is nakuha na natin, which is equivalent sa 200, yung ginamit natin FC max 200, okay? Minus FB, anong value ng FB natin dito, class?
67, sir.
Okay, 67. Now, magiging correct ang assumption natin na yung FB natin is parang nag-fix lang siya at nag-slides off first yung C kung yung FB na nakuha na yung FB max natin na makukuha is lesser than or equal to FB. So kanina, kinuha na natin yung FB max. Yung FB max natin is obviously equivalent yan sa 80. Okay? 80. So, eto 80. Sorry, if yung FB max pala natin is greater than or equal. At yung FB na nakuha natin dito is 67. Anong ibig sabihin yan, class? Okay, hindi pa nag-exceed yung value ng FB na nakuha natin dito sa kanyang maximum limiting value. Meaning to say, it remains at rest pa. It remains at rest, so nauna yung C na mag-slide off. So, correct yung assumption natin na yung C ang nag-slide off around B. So, whatever value na nakuha natin doon sa P is our answer. Okay? So, yan yung parang proving na part. Okay? That P is equivalent sa 267. Okay. Meron din madaling way into class. Ang gagawin nyo lang is itatry nyo lang dalawang method. Yung dito magmo-moment kayo sa C at saka magmo-moment kayo sa B, and then whichever yung maliit, yan yung gagamitin niyo na value. Meaning to say, anong ibig sabihin, bakit maliit yung pipiliin, sir? Dalawang value mo P man dito, di ba? 320 at saka 267. Yung maliit, meaning to say, that is just the amount. Okay? Anong dito? Tanong, determine the force needed. Parang sinasabi dito, determine the force P just needed or enough to pull. Parang ganyan ba? Enough to pull. So, yung lesser na value, yan yung enough na magnitude ng P na pwedeng gamitin natin para successfully natin ma-pull out yung poste. Nakuha nyo, class? So, iyan yung parang tawag nito, interpretation para sa problem na to. So, there are two possible values for this one, which is 320 at saka 267, pero piliin niyo lang yung pinaka maliit. Okay? Kuha ba? I hope that's clear to you, no? Questions? Sige, before we proceed sa ating next problem.
Sir, ako'y question po.
Sige. Sure.
Sir, sa P, dili mo negative si P, sir, sa pag-moment sa B.
Dito sa moment sa B,
Yes po.
dito ako nag-moment sa B. Okay. Considering, okay, nabaliktad lang, no? Pwede naman din. Sabihin na natin, yung assumption natin is counterclockwise positive. Okay. Pero, counterclockwise positive, so magiging positive yung P. Okay naman din. Anyway, basta different yung ano nila, no? Tawag nito, different yung magiging sign nila. Kasi different yung direction nila. Yung P papunta dito, yung FC papunta dito. Okay. So, kinurek ko lang yung assumption natin na counterclockwise positive. Pero, okay lang. Same pa rin yung value na makukuha natin. 267. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sige. Thank you din sa pagtanong. Okay, proceed tayo dito sa next problem natin. Okay, meron tayo ditong cam. Yung cam, nag-rotate yan. Yung cam, meron niyang kasabay na follower. So, parang system niya sila, dalawa class, cam and follower system. Okay, saan ba to usually makikita? Makikita yan dun sa mga automated system, like for example, stamping. Parang meron tayong cam na customize yung kanyang pwedeng elliptical, usually elliptical yun. Customize yung kanyang shape, and then meron tayong follower, ganyan, no? So, for example, ganito. And then, habang nagro-rotate to, eto naman, magre-reciprocate yan. Okay, magre-reciprocate yan back and forth, ganyan. So, depending on the shape of this cam. Okay, yan yung cam. Now, dito sa problem, the cam is subjected to a couple moment. Okay, sandali lang ha, check ko lang. Oh. Ano dito siya. Okay, the cam is subjected to a couple moment of 5 Newton meter. Now, determine the minimum force P that should be applied to the follower in order to hold the cam in the position shown. So, the coefficient of static friction between the cam and follower. So, ito yung follower class. Ito naman yung cam natin, no? So, is 0.4. Ang static of coefficient of friction dito is 0.4. Now, the guide at A, itong dito, yung guide natin sa follower is smooth. Mean to say, wala tayong i-consider na friction dito. Pero kapag ito, maglagay ng static coefficient of friction, then i-consider natin tong ano dito, yung friction. Okay? Try natin later, magdagdag tayo dito ng, sabihin natin, rough ito, tapos magdagdag tayo ng static of coefficient of friction. Ano yung mangyayari sa ating sagot? Okay? Now, ang gagawin natin dito, class, is to solve for the value of P. So, di ba dalawang components to, or dalawang bodies, meron tayong follower, meron tayong cam. So, ang gagawin natin, hahatiin natin yung free body diagram into 2. Okay? So, gawa tayo ng parang cam. Yan. Yan yun. And then, since nagro-rotate yung cam natin in this direction, okay? 'Di ba kung ano yung motion natin, resisting yung magiging direction ng ating friction. So, most likely yung friction natin is pag ganito kasi yung rotation natin ng cam is pag ganito. Tama ba? So, it resists or it opposes the direction of motion. So, dito sabihin natin FB yan kasi nasa point B tayo. And of course, since meron tayong NB, okay, meron tayong B dito, meron din tayong NB. As you can see, nandyan na yan sa, okay, if this is our axis, this is our center line of our cam, so yung NB natin nandito yan. Okay? Pag ganyan yan ha, kung kukunin natin tong lower na part, kung sa higher, kung kukunin natin yung follower na part, so magiging ano lang yan, baliktad lang yan, NB, kasi internal reaction yan, no? Okay? So, kung i-draw natin yan dito, gawa tayo ng center line, okay, indicating that is our itong point na O, ito point O yan. So, meron tayong NB dito, okay, yan. And then, of course, meron din tayong FB dito, okay. So, ito yung NB natin. Located yan siya 10 mm from the center line or center ng ating cam. Okay, that is 10 mm. Okay, etong FB natin is 60 mm. Okay, 60 mm galing dito sa ating center. Okay, 60 mm. So, ito yung tinatawag nating FB. Okay, FB yan. Okay, so, gagawin natin, aside from that, meron din tayong 5 Newton meter na moment. Okay, ang gagawin natin dito is isa-sum up lang natin yung moment natin sa point O, equate that to 0. So, considering clockwise is positive, counterclockwise, kasi counterclockwise itong 5 Newton meter. So, mean to say, positive yan, 5 Newton meter, no? And then the rest, okay, magiging counterclockwise, magiging clockwise yan, no? Clockwise yung magiging direction niya. Okay, so negative yan lahat. So, negative, unahin natin si NB, negative NB, and that is 10 mm from point O. Okay. Since naka Newton meter to, so of course, we also need to convert this 10 mm to meter. Okay. 0.01 yan. So, mag-move ka lang ng 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. So, 0.01 meter na yan. Ito, of course, Newton meter. Ito, Newton meter. Newton meter. So, of course, ito, NB, that is expected to be Newton. Tama ba? So, di lang natin ilagay yung unit para hindi tayo malito, no? And then, minus FB din, FB, and that is 60 mm. So, that is 0.06. And wala na tayong forces involved that in here, so 0 na yan. So, baka magtanong, sir, bakit hindi niya sinali yung P? Kasi nandito pa tayo sa cam na free body diagram. Okay, parang dalawang, ano man yan, composite bodies ba? Dalawang bodies. So, kinuha natin yung free body diagram for this cam and then kukunin din natin yung free body diagram ng follower later. Okay, so in here, since yung FB natin can be calculated, okay, using the static coefficient of friction dun sa point B, tapos multiplied by NB, Therefore, we can say 5 minus NB times 0.1. Etong FB magiging 0.4 for our static coefficient of friction. Tapos NB times 0.06. Equate that to 0. So, makukuha na natin yung NB natin. Anong value ng NB na makukuha natin dito, class? Ganda, pakisolve. Anong value ng NB na makukuha natin dito?
One 147.058, sir.
Okay, 147.058.
58.
O, sabihin natin 0.6. Okay, newtons yan, no? So, that is now our NB. Okay, NB na yan. So, yan lang yung actually gagamitin natin to solve for the value of P. Kasi, kung i-draw natin na naman yung free body diagram for follower, yung nasa itaas. So, i-draw lang natin saglit. Follower. So, draw natin yan. Okay, parang ganito, no? Rough drawing lang. Okay. Yung draft drawing ko parang, ano na din, no? Parang final drawing na din ng iba. Char lang. Okay, meron tayo ditong NB. Okay, yung NB natin dito na yan yung tawag nan, ma-direct kasi nasa itaas na tayo. Okay. Remember always yung normal is perpendicular to the surface. Okay? And then meron din tayo ditong force P. So ang gagamitin natin basically dito is summation of forces along y equated to 0. So obviously, yung P natin minus NB equivalent sa 0. So yung P pala natin is equivalent lang sa NB, which is equivalent lang din sa 147.06 Newton. Nakuha niyo yung class? Yan lang kadali kung smooth yung guide natin. If smooth guide, smooth yung A guide natin. Now, kapag sabihin natin na rough yung A guide, if A as our guide is rough, having static coefficient of friction sa A 0.5, sabihin natin, find P. Okay, find P. So, paano natin yan gagawin? So, actually, kulang tayo ng magiging mga given. Kasi dapat, meron tayong, makukuha din natin yung NA dito. Para sabihin natin, meron tayong tawag nito, makukuha natin yung friction force. Pero sabihin natin yung MSA or yung MUSA is 0.5 and NA is 80 newtons. Sabihin natin ganyan. So, find P. So, etong free body diagram natin, dadagdagan na natin yan ng class? Dadagdagan na natin yan ng meron tayo ditong NA. Okay, ganyan. Normal, no? NA, which is 80. Then, meron tayong FA dito. So, that is opposing the motion. Okay. So, FA is equivalent lang sa static coefficient of friction. Tapos, yung NA natin, which is 800, ay 80 pala. So, therefore, yung P natin minus okay, in-assume natin ng forces along Y, positive yung magiging direction sa ibaba. So, dito din, in-assume natin yan Baka malito kayo bakit positive yung P at saka negative yung NB. So, pwede nyo malang gawin, no? Basta, assumption nyo yan. Okay? And then, pwede natin sabihin P, then minus FA, then minus NB. Equate that to 0. So, sabihin natin yung i-transpose natin. So, FA would be equivalent sa, yung negative FA magiging positive. So, 0.5 tapos 80. Then, plus yung NB natin na nakuha, which is 147.06. So, anong value makukuha natin dito, class? Diba? 187.06. Tama? Tama? Hindi. Okay. So, ito yung magiging value ng P natin kung rough yung nagiging guide natin. Okay? Pero, sa problem na to, smooth. So, therefore, ang sagot talaga dito is itong 147.06 Newton. Okay? I hope nakuha niyo yung concept ng friction. Clear ba sa inyo, class?